La mouche se pose dans lunettes le 11 avril à Paris, sorti de son long, réalisé par Philippe Sedbon, une histoire de démon, vrai ou fausse, Mr. Frost, Jeff Goldblum, auto-interview, super exclu.
Aren't you? You're Jeff Goldblum, the movie star, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. I'm Jeff Goldblum.
Well, nice to see you. If you know, I know you, but if you were to introduce yourself to somebody here in France, somebody in a club or something like that, what would you say? Somebody who doesn't know you, what would you say?
I would say I'm Jeff Goldblum from the United States. I'm an actor. I've done a bunch of films. Maybe you've seen me in The Fly, I think was the most popular here. And in fact, I'm going to be in a movie coming out soon called Mr. Frost with Alan Bates and Kathy Baker.
Well, was it difficult to become a star in Hollywood, or did you? How did it happen? Was it difficult?
I went to New York City after growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and studied at a great acting school. But very soon after I graduated, almost a year, I was 18, 19, I fell into a job in theater and did a couple of plays. And then Robert Altman saw me in a play in New York and asked me to do California Split. And then I did Nashville. And kind of one thing led to another. So I kept working, and I've never, in fact, had to have a straight job, you know.
Hey, do you ever feel like, after you did The Fly, did you ever feel like that character at all?
No, I don't feel like the Fly, although that character, you know, what appealed to me about that character was that it was romantic and heroic, and I had a passionate and poetic part of myself, and I feel like that sometimes.
Tell me about Mr. Frost, about your new film, Mr. Frost.
Oh, it's a very interesting movie. You know, it's with, as I mentioned, Kathy Baker and Alan Bates. I'm a mysterious and dangerous and charming and seductive and unpredictable and spontaneous character who makes a very kind of intimate contact with Kathy Baker, and on one hand destroys her, but on another hand opens her up, and it's a kind of a violent and dangerous love story.
What would you say are the three top directors you've worked with?
Oh, I've been very lucky. I've worked with a lot of great people. I worked with a little part in the Woody Allen movie, and I've worked with Paul Mazursky and Robert Altman and Philip Kaufman and Lawrence Kasdan, and a lot of great directors. Philippe Sedbon directed Mr. Frost, and he was wonderful. I'll tell you, I had as good a time on making Mr. Frost as I've had on any movie.
What's your best film ever?
I'm most fond of the last things that I've done. I have a particularly good feeling about Mr. Frost.
And the worst?
I've never made a movie that I look at now and I'm really, this is true, tormented about. I wish I hadn't made it.
I happen to know that you've been in therapy sometimes. Does that help as an actor at all?
Acting is a strange combination of lying and telling the truth. It's lying, really, because the circumstance, you know, what you say, who you say you are, and the circumstances are made up. It's a lie. But to make that credible, to make it like it's real life, you have to be truthful in some other way. You kind of have to be yourself in some way, even though it might be a leap of imagination. You have to be yourself. So therapy, or anything therapeutic that kind of educates you about yourself and allows you to know yourself and be able to tell the truth, in fact, and make you more truthful, more authentic, less phony in some way, more in touch with the things that mean something to you, and more in touch with your feelings, the better actor you are.
Did you look up to anybody when you were a child?
Oh, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is that I had an older brother named Rick, who was 4 years older than I was, and in fact, sadly, when he was 23, he died, and I was 19. You know, but I looked up to him, and the way he was, you know, I mean, he started to go out with girls, you know, when I was kind of still too young too, and I really looked up to him. And
what do you say to yourself every morning when you see me in the mirror?
I sing, you know. This morning, I'm just thinking this morning, I sang. I sang a medley of songs. That's Life was one of the songs. And Hey, Look Me Over was one of the songs. So I sang.
Et pour être sûr de ne rien rater de Inal Harditube, abonnez-vous et mettez un pouce bleu.